Hello, welcome to One Africa Mission with your brother Dobia Anzanse. Please, if you haven't joined our mission, the number one African mission, please don't hesitate to join the mission. We are on a mission. We are young Africans, and then our mission is all about evangelizing to the people of Africa to see the need for unity, what unity can give us as children of Africa, because we believe that it is only unity that can give us back our dignity as children of Africa. Without unity, we should forget it. So if we really want our dignity as children of Africa, then we must all join hands together to fight for a united, better Africa. Just as the founding fathers of America foresaw the need or the strength in unity, they had to fight a civil war to bring 50 states of America together. And today, America is the most powerful country in the world. Take it or leave it. But we are not going on that tangent. We are not going on that direction. We're not going to fight among ourselves to unite the continent of Africa. We're going to evangelize so that our people will see the need and the potential in unity. So that is why we are here, One Africa Mission. So please, if you appreciate what we are doing, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, One African Mission. On TikTok, One African Mission. Share, pass your comments. Your comments are really helping us. Those of you who are doing that, I would like to stand here and say on behalf of One African Mission, we appreciate everything. Those of you supporting us, sharing our content, passing your comments, liking these videos. We appreciate that. And for those of you who haven't really done that, please let us join hands together. We are Africans and we deserve a better, dignified life. We cannot continue as children of Africa to be languishing on the bottom of the human race. It is about time we stand up as children, men and women of Africa, and demand from the rest of the world, who are our children, our rightful place. I thank you very much for coming around. So as I said, the founding fathers of America, they saw the need for unity, and they fight to bring 50 states together. And today, the American dollar is the most powerful currency in the world. The American military, the American president, the most powerful man in the world. Imagine if we can bring 54 states in Africa together. Imagine if we can come together as one country. It's not going to take anything away from us, but it's only going to make us powerful as children of Africa. Imagine an Africa where we have one military. That was the dream of our forefathers. Imagine an Africa where we have one president. That was the dream of our forefathers. That president would only go around the world as the most powerful man in the world. Imagine an Africa where we have one currency. That currency will dominate the world market. And today we're going to talk about currency. The reason why these colonial criminals, and I keep calling them colonial criminals, stop giving them the power, the energy, by calling them your colonial masters. They are not our colonial masters. These are our colonial criminals. People who go and rape your mom, and unalive your forefathers, enslave you, colonialism, neo-colonialism, steal everything that will ever make you great. You cannot continue to call them your colonial masters. They are our colonial criminals, and then we must continue, and then we must start calling them for who they are, criminals that they are. And as I said, they went to Berlin, intentionally divide Africa among themselves. And today we are still suffering from what their forefathers did to us in Berlin. It is about time we come together and unite the continent of Africa. I thank you very much for coming around. As I said, today we're going to talk about currency, how intentionally they divided Africa among themselves. And in our small countries, we all have different currencies, and how it is affecting us. If you talk about from 1 to 100 countries in the world, African country currencies are nothing to write home about. And I'm going to show you this currency, different African currency, and then we make our own mind as to why we must have at least one currency as children of Africa, or as to why our ancestors wanted us. You see, what we should know is that colonialism was a full package. It wasn't just political. Colonialism was a full package. They colonized us financially. They colonized us spiritually. They colonized us educationally. They colonized us politically. So it was a full package that they brought to us. So we cannot focus on one politics whilst we leave the rest, because economically they colonized us. That is why you see 54 states in Africa have different currencies. Why? This is the currency of Nigeria, the gent of Africa. As you can see, this is the gent of Africa, the Nigerian currency, 50 naira. It is absolutely nothing. You see this one. You see this one. This is one euro. This is 1 euro. This 1 euro is more valuable than this 50 naira from the gent of Africa. We call Nigeria the gent of Africa, but this one is 100 times has value more than this. This is the Kenyan shilling, 1,000 Kenyan shilling. You see this 1 euro, it has more value than 1,000 Kenyan shillings. This 1 euro. I'm telling you as to how we allow the Western colonial criminals to divide us among themselves, and they are using it against us both spiritually, politically, and economically. This 1 euro, it has more value than this 1,000 Kenyan shilling. You see this 1 euro, it has more value than this 500 Congolese. Congo, the most powerful, the most richest country in the world. 1 euro, 1 European euro has more value than 500 Congolese money, currency. This same 1 euro, it has more value than, this is Ghana cedi, 5 Ghana cedi. This one, just this 1 euro, it has more value than this Ghana cedi. And the most insulting part of it, you see, this is Senegalese France. This is what the French government is printing for all French countries in West Africa. The French Treasury is providing this for our people in West Africa. And then you know what? This is Gambian dalasi. Gambia and Senegal is one country because Gambia is inside Senegal. You see, we have to work hard as children of Africa to break the yoke of these colonial criminals. They have done a lot of harm to us. Gambia and Senegal, they are one country because Gambia is inside Senegal. And yet this is Gambian money. And this is Senegalese money. Gambia and Senegal, they speak the same language, no different. They have the same culture, no different. Gambia and Senegal is just like me and my siblings. There's absolutely no difference between them. But the colonial criminals came inside of Senegal, create a country called Gambia, and the Gambians are speaking English, and for that matter, they have dalasi. And the Senegalese are speaking French, and for that matter, France has to print this for them. So if you are a Gambian, your brothers in Senegal, or you are a Senegalese, your brothers in Gambia, you cannot have the same money. Why do they do that? So that they can continue to dominate over us. And then you know what? The most insulting part of it is not the Gambian currency and that of Senegal. The most insulting part of it is that, you see this Senegalese currency, it is printed to Senegal by France. And France have a lot of colonies in Africa. And if you take this currency, this worthless paper, if you take it, that is given to Senegal by the French. If you take it to Central Africa, to Cameroon, the French, they print the same thing and give to the people of Cameroon. But as a French-speaking Senegalese, if you take it to Cameroon, you cannot spend it. You cannot use it. If you take it to France, you cannot use it. How can the French be printing currency for us in West Africa that we can? They are the same people printing it for our people in Central Africa, but we cannot use it there. What an insult! Mama Arikana have been talking about. She has been talking about this, and then we, this generation of Africans, if we really mean business, we need to stand up and abolish all this and demand that as Africans we need one currency. The other day, West Africa wanted to create their own currency. What did France did? The president of France, Macron, he traveled to West Africa and tell the French countries not to allow it. Why did he do that? And how an insult it is that you, as a French Cameroonian, you cannot use the same thing that they print for you in West Africa. You cannot use this. It is printed for our people in Senegal. The French printed this for them as a French colony. But if you take this one and go to another French country in Central Africa, you cannot use it. What an insult. But if you take this one, one euro, you can use it in Germany, you can use it in Italy, you can use it in France. How did they call us? That the same money you can use in France, the same money, you can use the same money in Italy, you can use the same money in Germany, you can use the same money across Europe. But what they are providing for us as French citizens in Senegal, you cannot use the same thing that they are providing for our people in Central African Republic. You cannot use it. What an insult. And that is why we all citizens of Africa must support our people in the Sahel, because they want to come out with their own currency. And then we all must, if we want a better Africa, we must support them, because we cannot continue to allow these people to manipulate us. As I said, this is the Ethiopian birr. This is the Ethiopian birr. Today is worthless because they are made it so worthless. And Ethiopia and Kenya, they share border. The other day I was in Ethiopia. I just crossed from Moyale to the other side. Now, if you cross from the border to the other side, if you are in the other side, you can use this one. But if you cross, you cannot use it anymore. You have to look for this. But the unfortunate thing is that if you are holding the British pound, British pound, which has more value than this, you can still use it. You can use the British pound in Ethiopia and you can use it in Kenya. Even though Britain is far away from us. But you cannot use this in Kenya. And then you cannot use this in Ethiopia. Even though we are but sister countries. Why are we doing that to ourselves? As I said, the Gambian Dalasi, you cannot use it in Senegal. Whilst we are all one people. Why do we allow these colonial criminals to do what they did to us? And this is from Eritrea. This is the Eritrea NACFA. This is the Eritrean NACFA. Eritrea, Kenya, and Ethiopia, especially Eritrea and Ethiopia, these are one people, same culture, same everything. Same everything. But the colonial criminals make sure that Eritreans have to use this. And Ethiopians have to use this. And why did they do that? Because they want to keep making us our currency valuable. It has no valueless. It has no value. So if you are holding just €1 or 1 British pound, it has more value than all these African currencies. Combined together. All these African currencies combined together, this €1 has more value than this. And they tell us that you use your resources, especially your gold, to back up your currency to be strong. How come we have gold? Europe doesn't have gold, but they are €1. They are £1, British pound. It has more value than that of our currency. Combine all this together. Why do we allow them to be doing this to us? We need our economies to tell us that something is not right. We need our economies. And you know what? The only way we can have an African currency that can match up to any currency in the world is by uniting the country, by having one currency. As I said, look at the American dollar. 50 states, they have only one currency. If you have to travel around the continent of Africa, these are all different currencies. You have to be changing it from one country to another. But if you have changing it to dollars, but if you have dollar, you don't need to change it. Why? Africans, let us think. Let us wake up and think. Enough is enough of these people manipulation. We cannot continue to allow the colonial criminals to manipulate us into thinking that we are different people. How can Ethiopia and Eritrea have different currency? We have the same similar tradition, same language, same people, but we have different currency. How? How can Kenya and Tanzania have different currency? How can Ghana and Togo have different currency? This is the Ghana cedi. in West Africa. You cannot take it anywhere. This is the Nigeria, the giant of Africa. This is the Nigerian Naira. It has no value. You cannot take it anywhere. The giant of Africa, you cannot take it anywhere. Children of Africa, let us stand up and fight for a united Africa. That is the only way we can gain back our dignity. That is the only way our currency can be strong. These colonial criminals, and I repeat, these colonial criminals intentionally divided Africa among themselves, and their colonization was not only political. Financially, they colonized us. Spiritually, they colonized us. Militarily, they colonized us. But it is up to me and you today to stand up and unite the continent of Africa if we want a better Africa for the next generation of Africans. We have the chance never before afforded to any generation of Africans to make this continent a better and great nation. If only we can fight for a united Africa. That was the dream of our forefathers. And then we must do it so that future generation of Africans will live a better, dignified life. I thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing, don't hesitate to subscribe to our YouTube channel, One African Mission. We are on a mission, and our mission is all about the unity of the African continent and the dignity of our race. Thank you very much for coming around.